We're going to come straight to you. Shout out to you, our friend, inducted into the Arizona Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, Channing.
Thank you.
Don't be so humble now. How was the weekend?
Oh, man. It was great. They told me I set the record for most people. I think I had like 43 people, and then like 8 didn't show up. It was great. Family was there, cousins, friends, best friends. It was kind of weird. I never Richard gives me shit all the time about, not going to the Final Four. And so I think over the years, I never looked at like where I was in the stat book. And I know Richard's going to say, well, you were there 4 years, Joe. But I didn't know I was like top 5 in all those things. I never looked. So for me, it was like, it was kind of weird because I've never been like a get an individual award kind of guy. I'm like, if the team wins, I'm all good. Like, we're winners. But like when I realized how bad I was and the fact that Coach O took a chance on this kid, this skinny kid from St. Mary's, and then now I'm in the Hall of Fame, it's kind of wild, right? It's like it's surreal, and then you kind of like go back to all the work you put in and the sacrifice. And then, man, showing my kids U of A, all 4 of them, they went to the merch store. Dude, my girls came out with earrings, headband, necklace, shirt, jacket. They were geared out. And then we went to the football game. That was great. So they've getting there, I think just to go back to this, shown everybody how much U of A means to me, just as a school, and like the love I get back from being in Tucson, Arizona is like unmatched. It's unmatched.
I love that. Again,
Well,
like you guys will all
bro.
see on Thursday,
Thanks,
I
man.
listened to your speech and I was like sobbing.
No, I think this is what I would say.
Oh.
I think Channing and I are still in that kind of like, we're in that small group of guys that Arizona was a top 10 basketball school for a lot of years. Arizona was not a top 10 basketball state. There were not a lot of players that were good enough to play at U of A because they recruited from the entire country. It was Sean Elliott who started it off. The next person was Mike Bibby 12 years later. Then it was myself. We didn't have another person until Channing that was good enough to even go to the school. And so for us as Phoenix kids, you look at the North Star and
That was 3 years later.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it. But I was 2 years after Mike, so it was like there. And then there was
Right.
Jared Bayless was next one, and we're not talking about the academies and the prep schools. We're talking about the kids that were raised in Phoenix, learned how to play basketball in Phoenix, and then we're good enough to go play there. So I'll compliment Channing because this is again Thanksgiving week. The fact that like I was always so proud of him because there wasn't a lot of people from our state and our city that were even good enough to be on Arizona. And the same way that Mike looked out for me, I never paid for anything. Mike would get me a pair of Jordans when I was in Bibby would give me a pair of Jordans. And Mike Bibby is still my mentor to this day. He's one of the people that I've always looked up to and always looked at him as like a big brother. Because there wasn't a lot of us. So for Channing to be in the Hall of Fame, and part of the reason why we give him shit about not getting to the Final Four is Mike Bibby won a national championship, made me want to go to the school and then try and win a national championship. So there's pressure and love of like, Channing, keep that going of like the Arizona kids. So we get a little salty at him. And it wasn't his fault. He played amazing. But he said, when the team wins, he's happy. When the team loses, he's pissed. And they lost. So he should be pissed.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm so proud that he is a part of that group because really the 4 or 5 guys that were good enough to go to Arizona all made those types of impacts. There weren't a lot of like burnouts. It was like Channing made it. Mike Bibby made it, was a number 2 pick. I made it, I was 13th. Channing made it. Jared Bayless, I would include in that group, right? He went to St. Mary's. He's a Phoenix kid. Jared Bayless did it, was a
He's a
first-round
lottery
pick.
pick.
I'm saying he was a lottery pick. So it was like the guys that were the small crew of guys that did get the opportunity to represent the whole state and be the local kids, they had impacts. That's what I think I'm most proud of Channing for continuing, the hard work that a lot of us, because it was like, oh, he's good in Arizona, but can he play at University of Arizona? That was always the question, because that was a big national school. And Channing proved that.
Hey, Shannon, congratulations, bro. Like,
Thanks, man.
embrace this. I feel like a individual accomplishment like this is bigger than anything else in basketball. It's bigger than you winning the NBA championship. Anytime you're inducted into a Hall of Fame, bro, that's different, bro. You talking about a legacy. You talking about your kids. You talking about when you're not even on this earth again, people are going to know Shannon Frye because Arizona, first of all, I knew Arizona basketball was a real thing.
I just
But-
see your boy though. He's
But
off.
now that
Now
I
you
have,
know. Now, Perk, we got to get you down there, Perk. We got to get, bro, when
Bro.
you go down there, it's going, you know the way that people, SEC football is? That's Arizona basketball. You
Bro,
go down
I'll
there and
tell
you're
you
like,
what-
what is going on here?
listen, my guy, so he had an excellent journey. This is not about him, but he had an excellent journey like to get here, right? He had to go through the trenches, mid-major, JUCO, all that. So he was at Texas. And all I used to hear about is how great UT was and all this. I went down there and he
UT's
got
awesome.
to Arizona. He was like, AP, nah, this is different, bro. And it was like, he was different, bro. So he FaceTimed me. I'm on the phone with y'all head coach, but I'm in the driveway Saturday morning working out my sons, right? I'm working them out in the driveway. I get a face call. I see a FaceTime call. I see it's my boy B, who is the assistant coach at Arizona. Anytime he's FaceTiming me, 9 times out of 10, I need a pickup. Cause it might be, it might be one of them recruits. It might be
Yeah,
out here.
you know,
coach,
same with Murph,
and it
same
might
shit.
it might be one of those rich ass boosters and donors y'all have down there. Okay,
Yeah.
so look. He FaceTimed me, say, hold on for a second. Next person I see on the FaceTime is Shannon and the nephew. You know what I'm saying? They having the time of their life. But it was a whole moment. I'm sweating. Y'all know my screen cracked. Sorry about last week. You saw how blurry I was.
Yes.
That's how it looked
Yes.
on FaceTime. It looked
Oh,
cloudy.
Lord.
So I'm on FaceTime with Shannon, and I'm just like, he's fucking living it up. His face is lit. I'm like, hell yeah, bro. That's what it's about. Like, embrace that. Those are
Perk,
the times.
we gotta get you, we gotta get you down there.
Those are the times you be selfish.
Yeah.
Those
No,
are
hey,
the times
be
that-
selfish. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna
It
give you
ain't
a compliment.
About nobody. It's about me.
It's
be
about
selfish,
you.
dog.
And that's why there was no jokes. There was no nothing that is true that like not a lot of us were able to even set foot on that campus in a scholarship space. That's why we drove down to watch Channing win his state championship. Me, Jay Gardner, Gilbert, and Luke, we drove down there to watch Channing in a state championship and win the state championship. But that's the support that we've always had. That's the support. It's like, yo, one of our nerdy recruits is coming up here, right? And it's like, yeah, we're gonna go hang out with them. But it was, Allie went down there and she didn't understand why with the whole bear down and the whole thing. And she's like, oh yeah, I know Arizona. And then she went down there and
Within like 30 minutes, I was like, oh, this shit's real. Y'all are real.
yeah, the whole place is a shrine
about the
to
time
Arizona
y'all left.
basketball.
Y'all
No,
talking
that
about
was
time?
before you. It was
That time
before
y'all left me?
you. It was before you,
It was
Channing,
years
or
ago.
Perk. I will not let you do us like that.
Yeah, so shout out Arizona. Also, can I give a little love to show you guys to show the people at home the love? Arizona's playing UCLA here last week. Coach calls me, says, hey, Murph was like, hey, will you come talk to the guys? So I drive up, I go and talk to them, and I tell them about the rivalry between UCLA and Arizona and how big deal it was, how UCLA, when we showed up, it was the Pac-8, then the Arizona school showed up. And UCLA had won 10 national titles, and that was the big dog. And our whole goal was to take down the big dog, and we did. That's what we did. We won more Pac-10 titles over the time of the Pac-10 than they did. And I was like, just got to give them a speech, and then they went out there, got to say what's up to Bryce, saw Koa, saw all Williams, the whole crew, and they went out there, and it was a close game. Arizona, top 10 in the country. UCLA, they're just okay, but it's a close game. And it was cool to go tell them, it's like, hey, bro, it's going to be different when you go into UCLA. When you're Arizona and you go into UCLA, even though you're not in the same conference and it's not the same thing, it's going to be different. And I think those boys saw it was different, and they answered that call. So salute to those young men.
And
All
then
right.
I get a picture of Richard in my phone.
You got a picture?
Telling me, oh, Richard's a real one. I'm like, no, the fuck he's not.
Bitch, if you only knew. Just kidding. We have timed out on our conversation about Arizona.
No.
Thank you.
Kidding. We love all of you. Having said that, Shannon, congratulations.
Let's get into it.
You know how much I adore your family, and seeing the pictures with you and your family back there, and you so happy and excited. I know they probably have just loved celebrating you, and you deserve it. So congratulations.